A quick note of interest to start off for those of you playing daily fantasy or those who can make daily moves in your leagues. After yesterday's postponement, the Mets and Rockies will play a split doubleheader today with the first game starting at 1:10 Mountain Time. Yesterday's scheduled starter Juan Nicasio and Dylan G will start Game 1. Jeff Francis will start Game 2 for the Rockies, but Mets manager Terry Collins said that he may not decide upon the Game 2 starter until after Game 1. It will either be Jeremy Hafner or Aaron Laffey, neither of which has any real fantasy value. But there's a twist. Both of today's games could be in danger of being postponed as well, with wintry conditions remaining on the forecast. So follow closely before setting your lineups. There's nothing worse than putting your players in a lineup that aren't playing. And here's another interesting scenario to pay attention to. While there's been no formal announcement, it's worth noting that prize Reds pitching prospect Tony Cingrani was pulled from his AAA Louisville start after striking out 5 over 2 hitless innings Sunday. The speculation here is that this was done so that he can start for the Reds on Thursday in Miami in Johnny Cueto's rotation spot. Cueto was put on the DL yesterday with back problems. Cingrani has been dominant in his first 3 AAA starts, striking out 26 batters over 14 1/3 scoreless innings. The 23-year-old left-hander features a mid-90s fastball and slider and has allowed just 2 walks and 3 hits on the year. He's someone that's been on my radar and someone who should be on yours as well. In St. Louis, manager Mike Matheny quietly removed the closer's tag from Mitchell Boggs yesterday, a day after he blew another save, announcing that Trevor Rosenthal and Edward Mejia would both see chances going forward. They'll try just about anyone at this point. There's an ad looking for a closer on Craigslist. It doesn't say who it's for, but I'm pretty sure it's the Cardinals. And in yesterday's segment, one of the things I suggested is that Chase Utley was healthy and should be returned to the status of the second base elite. Then the moment the Phillies lineup was posted, I received a nasty email from some doofus telling me that I had no clue, evidenced by the fact that he wasn't in the starting lineup. He's 34. It was a scheduled day off. Relax, he's fine. Didn't he come in and hit a pinch hit 2-run home run? Yes, he did. That's 1 point for me and 0 for you, bucko, so crawl back into your hole. And Brett Lawrie, who is out with an oblique injury, is being activated from the DL for today's game against the White Sox. Toronto fans seem to be all gaga over this as the Canadian-born player is a fan favorite. It doesn't do much for me, but if you're a Lawrie guy, it should be safe to get him into the lineup, I guess. And Giancarlo Stanton is expected to try to take batting practice to see if he feels good enough to play. Stanton had an MRI on his shoulder this past week that came back clean. He was examined by a doctor before yesterday's game and listened to what he told the press. I told him where I was at. It's gotten better, but it's still there. The plan is to warm up tomorrow and swing and see where it's at. To bring my left arm up and forward. My shoulder doesn't like that. It feels like it's being compressed. It hurts putting on a shirt. Now, just 2 weeks into the season, the Stanton situation has become perhaps the most polarizing topic in the game. He doesn't want to be there, and who can blame him? But a work slowdown isn't going to help his cause. No one cares if your shoulder hurts when you put on a shirt, Giancarlo. My left foot cramped up when I put my sock on this morning, but I still came to work. Just get out there and hit the ball. Or play without a shirt. I don't care. Don't be so soft. You're only 23. No one's going to pay you huge money if you can't play regularly at that age, because what's going to happen 5 years from now? Bo in Scranton, Pennsylvania writes, I read where Roy Oswalt tweeted that he wanted to come back to the Phillies. Is he someone I should consider picking up if he comes back? Bo, I'd like to play for the Phillies too, but I wouldn't add either one of us to your fantasy roster. Baseball is a game like no other. Statistics are the primary evaluating tool used to measure players against their peers in both a historic and present context. And for fantasy, it's really the only thing that matters. How one interprets those numbers, however, is just as important as the stats themselves. You need to be careful not to make judgments based on a set of data that is for a relatively small period of time. Let's take a player like national shortstop Ian Desmond. After 13 games, Desmond is hitting .320 with 6 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs, resulting in a slugging percentage of .600. But he only has 3 RBI. I received a curiously odd number of emails this past week asking what's wrong with Desmond, suggesting that his low RBI total was a problematic sign. Unless you're a starting pitcher, a 13-game sample is just too small to make any conclusions on. Desmond's numbers will even out over time, and if he continues to hit .320 and slug .600, his RBIs will come. After just 2 weeks, his RBI total is a result of random opportunity as much as anything else. If you're looking at Desmond's stats and concluding that he's off to a poor start because of a low RBI total, you're looking at things the wrong way. This is how good players get traded for bad ones. Make sure you don't have a shallow view of the statistics in front of you and look to take advantage of the competition when you see that they do. You don't have to be a saberstitian to understand baseball stats. Just apply some logic and reason and you'll be fine. For RotoExperts, I'm Mike Cardano.